she was falling asleep on the chair, and I was like, Betty, Betty, how are you? You're fine? Is it okay if because I can see you in the background. Are you okay? With being, because I'm sitting over here now. Is that okay? All right. So,
Could angle just a little bit more over
yeah.
the other way, so you get more of the wall there.
Oh, yeah. So we don't need, stop it. No. So,
You
uh,
can't have your meat.
so Jennifer, just full stop. Wait, did you just say can't have your meat? I think you did.
Yeah.
Ben, now we don't make GudeLaurance t-shirts, but I really think that would be an awesome t-shirt. It's the prism from Dark Side of the Moon, and underneath it says you can't have your meat.
It's like one of those photos of Captain Picard saying, like,
"May the Force be with you,"
and then accredited to like
Doctor Who,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So right now she's doing much better, but I mean, she really was falling asleep. It was crazy.
After a head injury, that's not what you want to do.
So,
of course, you're aware of that.
So the urgent care appointment is at 6:30. Is that right? It'll take us. It won't take us more than 8 minutes to get there, right? So yeah, we should be fine, but we just have to wait.
Yeah. I mean,
just so you know how much of a jerk and Jennifer has pointed this out to me, and my therapist has pointed this out to me. I can just think these things and not say them out loud, and I'm not lying. That's just a thing, right? So you know what? I'm gonna take that advice. I'm not gonna say it because I just thought a thing. But just because I think a thing doesn't mean that it's anything that I have to say out loud.
I'm thinking how, like, urgent care made you wait to make an appointment in like an hour and a half?
That is kind of crazy.
Like,
Ben
so...
asked, is it not so urgent care? Why do you have to wait an hour and a half? Is his question.
Well, like, you can just go there, but you can also make an appointment.
You can. Okay, so yeah, and we've actually done that before. Yeah. Because if you go straight, you've run into this before with me, I think. If you go, we never went to the emergency room at the same time, did we?
Our performances never got that bad.
We never ended up doing shovel fight. Okay, for the audience, there's a legendary GudeLaurance bit that never happened, where we both got employed and we both had health insurance, and we said, "Okay, this is gonna be it. We're gonna fight, full on fight with these shovels, and then go to urgent care."
And you wonder why our friends started calling us, or sort of like saying that we were influenced by the TV show Jackass at one point.
Yeah. I mean, let's be honest. We were influenced by a Tokyo Shock Boys, just like Jackass was. But
I'd never heard of Tokyo Shock Boys.
Do we predate Jackass?
I have no idea. Like, technically, you and me started in 2003, so you'll have to look up when Jackass started.
Was Jackass before 2003? Yeah, I don't think we do. I mean, if nothing else, we might supersede that show, but not. I mean, okay, so here's the thing, right?
The IMDb says the TV show started in the year 2000.
Okay.
We were friends. We became friends, like, in the year 2000. And we started performing later, but we didn't really start GudeLaurance until 03.
I actually think we became friends in 1999 because
99?
we were. Yeah, because think about it, Y2K, right?
All right.
We were friends before then.
All that
So,
all that time frame is just like a blur for me.
yeah. So Tokyo Shock Boys were before then, and they did kind of the same thing. They were a comedic, like sketch comedy group from Japan, but they did stuff like set off fireworks on each other and things like that. And I never saw them. I just heard them, and I was like, well, that's crazy. And so in the nonprofits, the sketch comedy group that I was in, I did what I actually consider a GudeLaurance bit, even though I didn't know you at the time. It's still, it was called Consumerism Meets Death. And the idea was that I had a sledgehammer, and people would choose. I had two objects, right? Like a Barbie and the latest Aqua CD or whatever. I'm making those two things up of trying to think of what they had around there. And people would choose one, and I'd destroy it on stage. And then it got more complicated. Like they could choose the implement that I was using to destroy it. You know,
the performance evolved.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, but the audience would choose between it.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, you know, we could have done that in one of our shows, and it would have been absolutely, you know,
it would have tracked. Yes.
You know, it is funny, Ben. Now that I think about it, that we really don't, except for, you know, Ben gonna guess the news and things like that. We really don't have any bits that we do on this show.
Every once in a while, we talk about things we've done in the past, and now we're talking about things we could have or should have done in the past.
Yeah, that's true. That is kind of a bit. That's right. Might have alternate universe thing. Oh, I just realized that I can watch your YouTube channel that has a lot of our clips on it. It has a bunch. Of clips.
Most everything that was recorded is up on the YouTube channel.
And I can watch it on my big for now. I don't know why.
Let me ask you something. When you watch it, do you see ads?
No.
Because I actually have no idea if YouTube is monetizing ours. We don't get any money out of course, but I was wondering.
Yeah, no, I don't think I do.
All right.
Good. You notice that I got a haircut.
Did you?
You know, it's funny. The timing of that makes it sound like you said good to me getting a haircut.
No, my internet died for a moment, so hit us. That hit some lag for us.
Yeah. So don't talk about work. I don't talk about work. Oh, Jennifer, did you find the place where you fix up the car? Is that where this place is?
Yeah, that's I figured.
Jennifer, what is the name of the game that you're playing?
Pacific Drive.
Jennifer's playing a game called Pacific Drive.
Pacific Drive. Does it take place on the West Coast?
Yeah, it's a video game. Where does it take place? Do you know?
Olympic Peninsula.
Olympic Peninsula, in fact.
There you go. Right over there.
So I don't talk about work, Ben. You know I don't talk about work.
I've heard that phrase repeatedly.
But I will say that you and I have something to talk about during our Patreon.
If we have time for that, it sounds like you're just going to have 8 minutes to get everybody in the car and go to urgent care.
It's going to switch to a phone call to you from the car, I think.
Gotcha.
On the way there. But it's worth talking about. And of course, for those of you who are listening, we don't have a Patreon. At least not yet. And again, if we do, it's a signal that something has gone horribly wrong.
Horribly, horribly wrong. Especially for the person who's tasked with setting it up and maintaining it, which will not be either one of us.
Though you actually told me that if we were going to do it, it was going to be me who was going to do that. I don't know if you remember.
You never know. Like we had, you probably remember our one-time intern Mike Pham. Maybe we'll have another intern.
I was absolutely going to say, for those of you who don't know, Mike Pham was our intern in the fictional GudeLaurance universe.
For
Mike Pham is Yeah, Mike Fum is an actor that Ben and I both have a great amount of respect for. Unless he's done something horrible, I don't think he has. Uh,
I
uh,
have no idea, actually. He disappeared.
yeah, as as just a disclaimer to everyone, whenever Ben and I say that someone was awesome, they were awesome to us at the time, and that's as far as we're willing to go because we don't know their lives. We're not gonna,
And speaking of
make them
YouTube,
a role
that is
model.
one of the performances that you can find on YouTube.
Yes. But the thing that it was really funny is that you explained that was good because I was just going to name drop him without any context. When you said whoever is going to set it up, I was about to say maybe it'll be Mike Fum, and that I was going to stop it there, and no one would have any idea what I was talking about. But yeah, I liked Mike. I like Mike Fum had a pair of pants that were really cool. Probably more than one.
He probably had multiple pairs of pants that were pretty cool.
Yeah.
He was just
Jennifer,
he was one of those guys that just
Fum?
exuded coolness.
Yep. Yeah. Jennifer also got along with Mike Fum. And notice, please, our dumb couch is gone, and we now have this papasan chair.
Oh, it's called a papasan chair?
That's what Jennifer called it, and I think that's the name on the box too. Papasan. And you say, what's a papasan chair? It's this chair like this.
We had something like that. It was a lot larger when I was a kid, and I don't remember what we called it. It was like, it was wicker, and you couldn't like lay down in it, but you could sort of like curl up in it lengthwise.
Yeah.
Man, what the heck did we call that thing? I want to say it was like a butterfly chair or something like that, even though that's a different thing. It's a different thing entirely. Anyway, we had one of those when I was a kid. My parents no longer had it because it's not very comfy. Especially for a 70-year-old person.
If you curl up, it's good. But you know what? I make you this promise, Ben. When I'm in my 70s, I'm going to curl up in a ball as often as I can.
And never leave.
Yeah. Speaking about which, Jennifer and I are still doing Tai Chi.
I didn't realize Jennifer was doing it too.
Yeah, Jennifer ran into an issue with her ankle. Famously, when Jennifer and I sort of started courting, her ankle was broken. And
I remember the broken ankle.
we knew each other before then, but the broken ankle really was when we spent more time together.
I remember
than we had in the past.
John DeShazo built a ramp to Jennifer's front door.
Yes, John DeShazo building the ramp, Ben was saying.
Yes.
Yep. And then they came and took it away.
Ha ha ho ho hee hee.
Elves.
It's a broken ankle miracle.
Where do they live now? Vermont.
Somewhere I like Connecticut, I think.
Oh, Ben just said Connecticut, maybe.
There we go.
Connecticut.
It's somewhere in.
Yeah.
So again, more discussion, but we're talking about places to live again.
Yeah.
For a second, I was thinking maybe Bremerton, but now it doesn't seem like that's it.
Is Bremerton getting gentrified again? Again?
No.
Bremerton getting gentrified right now?
Yeah, maybe so. And then, still Denver, maybe.
Why not?
Ooh, I got $5 from AT&T.
You did?
For the outage.
Oh
yeah, Ben's gonna get some news. Hey Ben, what happened recently with AT&T?
I actually have some inside scoop on this.
Oh, tell me this. Okay.
So
what it is? It is Thursday, March 1st. Wait, is it really March 1st?
No, it's February 29th.
Why does it say March? Oh, because my watch doesn't know about leap year.
Your watch does not know about leap year. Okay, so what happened was a lot of people lost their service on the AT&T network. The cause turned out to be that somebody did like a software update, and this software update broke the network briefly. It was out for like the morning, you know?
Yeah.
I know somebody who actually works at AT&T, and they are not directly involved with this event, but what they have been talking about for a long time is AT&T's new return to work policies, and they say that you have to return to work at one of 3 locations in the country, right? They have 3 like headquarters. If you don't, if you are previously a remote worker and you don't want to relocate to where one of these headquarters are, you are let go. And so AT&T has been leaking talent and leaking legacy knowledge due to this new return to work policy. So this is all supposition, what probably happened was the person who did this software update had never done it before, is very green in the AT&T place, because the person who previously did it didn't want to move to like Bothell or Dallas. And
Wait,
so
Bothell is one of the places?
Bothell is one of the AT&T's primary headquarters, yeah. So
how far is Bothell from where you live, Ben?
It's probably about a half-hour drive.
Is it expensive to live in Bothell?
I have no idea. You got Everett, you got Kenmore, Mill Creek.
The reason I'm asking is, of course, if I end up having to look for a job somewhere, and I'm willing to relocate, maybe.
I hear AT&T's hiring.
Yeah, don't talk about work though. And would I want to work for AT&T? No, I know. Also, I'm very happy where I work, for the company with whom I work, which will remain unnamed.
Of course. For those listening at home, I don't even know the names. It's not like Paul is saying this for just the listeners' benefit. He doesn't even talk to me about what he does at work.
I don't talk about work. It's a very good policy to have, to not talk about work on your podcast. And perhaps even a necessary one.
I mean,
even what your job is.
Even in the early days of blogging, it was a very good policy not to talk about work on your GeoCities blog.
Yep. And really, honestly, and this is true, you should separate your art from your work, man.
Church
you should separate your art from your workmen.
My workmen keep getting paint all over themselves.
So yeah, I feel as though, Ben, and I think I might have mentioned this to you, I've gained most of my weight back, and I have come to peace with it.
All them donuts.
Because donuts are tasty.
I didn't.
But no, I watched the kitchen technology video. Very good.
Kitchen technology video.
Yeah.
Our video.
Yeah. And
an amazing breakthrough in kitchen technology.
Betty saw her saying, "I like evil," and she's like, "I can't believe I don't remember this." We were like, "You're like 2."
Yeah. I think we may even have had to have subtitled Betty because
we did subtitle it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But really good. Both Betty and Jennifer are highlights for me.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun to go around and film people in their kitchens. And Chris Conti did a great job with the voiceover.
Yeah. Oh man, Chris Conti, what a talent.
That was a steal, doing it for free because doing it for free because he is SAG-AFTRA. He is part of the union, but he.
I mean, it didn't. I don't know who that is. In fact, did I say Chris Conti? I didn't mean it. A hexagon, really, Ben, if you think about it, is a cube that's missing 3 lines.
Or a cube that had got on the bad side of a witch.
Yeah. Now I'm feeling kind of sleepy and nauseous.
You're a hexagon.
I didn't even hit my head, though. So that's weird. How are you doing, Jennifer?
You're an empath. Paul, are you keeping track of time?
Sorry, yeah, I am keeping track of time. We're at 22 minutes. So that's weird. Jennifer is running into a problem with Pacific Drive where she's unable to close the menu. And if you hit circle, it doesn't close. Is that right? That's too bad. What if you hold circle?
What if you hold the power button and hold it until the whole thing goes dark?
What if you hit R2 to rearrange?
Just pull the plug out from the
None of it.
wall.
Oh, that's reassigning shot.
Every once in a while.
I broke it.
Every once
the
in a
circle
while.
button doesn't work.
I'll see like a supercut on the internet of somebody who put together like terrible hacking representations on TV or just things that don't matter with computers. The most famous of which is somebody is like hacking into the mainframe and this person's trying to keep them out and another person comes and starts tapping on the same keyboard this person is furiously tapping on.
Oh my god, I remember that. Yeah.
Another one is
that actually, I love that.
I did too. I mean, I want it to be like so like not in earnest, but like just highlighting how absurd it is. But another one is Mark Harmon just like pulling the plug from the computer out of the wall, and that solves the hacking issue. Somebody trying to hack into our mainframe and steal our code.
Oh yeah. Is that NCIS?
No idea what TV show it is. I know it stars Mark Harmon.
I think that's NCIS. So yeah, it's very difficult then when there's a lot of stuff that I want to tell you that I can't talk to you about.
I'm assuming we don't talk about work.
Yeah. News. What's going on? I didn't check the news today. Oh boy. Anything interesting?
Everybody we've mentioned on this podcast is now, they've done something bad and it's hit the news today. No, the only news that I know of is just like terrible scenes coming out of Gaza.
Yee.
I heard that since the war started, 30,000 people have died.
That's a very sobering number.
It's a very large number. A lot of people are. There's a movement afoot in Washington in the presidential primary voting, which is happening currently. We got our ballots mailed. It's already mailed by back.
Oh yeah.
To not vote for Joe Biden, but to vote uncommitted.
Oh, Jennifer, did we put the ballot in the mail yet? Okay, so I mailed my ballot. I mailed my ballot because that's how the law works.
Very patriotic of you.
Yeah, well, I'm very happy to do my civic duty. My civic. It's very much. I've talked about this before. I won't talk about work.
Take a poo in the courthouse.
But my civic duty. This guy gets it. So no, but the basic thing is that at the construction sites that I used to work on,
yeah,
people fought and got beat up by folks and all that for them to be given safety equipment by the companies that they work for.
Like they didn't want to. They did not want to wear the safety equipment.
The companies in the early days didn't supply safety equipment.
Oh, okay.
Right? And so people fought to get safety equipment given to them.
Gotcha. Okay.
And now you're right. People just don't wear it. It's insane. I was kind of, people didn't like me. Imagine on the construction site, because
For many
I used
reasons, but
to.
specifically.
Well, okay, Ben, you'll appreciate this. Jennifer, you'll appreciate this too. I said, look, we've got a lot of people working around here. If you're gonna fire off the thing that shoots staples into the ceiling, can you shout noise before you do it so that we're the construction workers, when they said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "That's what they do in theater
Right.
to help protect people's hearing."
Or
For whatever reason, they weren't impressed with me
to
on
give
that.
them warning.
Yeah, I mean, there's the thing. It's there's no reason not to do that. I mean, it works.
Unless you want to frighten somebody or burn their ears out.
Well, no, they're just cool. They're cool. They don't do that. That's the thing. They don't wear their earplugs. They don't need
They're
to.
manly
Whatever.
men. They don't need no gloves.
I wore my earplugs and I still had ringing in my ears for like months after I left that profession.
Yeah.
My ears now are, have at least I think have gotten better. Either that or I've just gotten used to it.
Either that or you just don't care that you're not hearing everything.
You know, Ben, I think we've talked about this before, but I'll say it again. How if there's a furnace that's running in the background or whatever, or the HVAC system, and then it shuts off,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden it's quiet, how weird that is and how off-putting. Imagine if ever since you were a baby they were playing a noise and you never heard it, but somebody had a switch and they could shut it off and it would make you go crazy.
I mean,
Just imagine.
I have these noise canceling AirPods, right? And every once in a while, when I turn them on, I am amazed at how well they work and how well they're able to cancel out the noise. Oddly enough.
Let me ask you a question. Have you ever, with these, noise canceling AirPods, have you ever noticed that when you do something like, for example, for me, clipping my nails, but it could be something else, like shut a drawer or whatever, that the noise canceling sort of backfires, and like when I clip my nails, there's a popping noise because it's trying to reverse or try, I don't know exactly how the noise canceling works, but it's trying to do that, invert the waveform or whatever, but because it's a short, sharp noise, it doesn't do it, and it makes a popping noise instead.
I haven't noticed that. What I have noticed, and what I still haven't gotten used to. This is a feature I could turn off, but I haven't. Is that when I'm, say, walking down the street and I'm listening to music and I've got the noise canceling on, if I like clear my throat, it thinks I'm about to talk and it lowers the volume of the music and turns on transparency. And and then, so here's the thing: if I like clear my throat, or if I like quietly say something to myself, because I will do that, it turns off the noise canceling and lowers the music. However, sometimes when I've gone into a store and I've like spoken to a cashier, it doesn't do that. It's like in the moment where I want that feature to work, it does not work.
It's got a special mess with Ben feature.
I gotta find that setting and just turn it off. I'm surprised I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, just the general lower. Yeah, because you can just physically move it. I got a book on tape.
On tape? Wow.
Well, I do have a book on tape. It's about James K. Polk. Andy gave it to me a while back. It's like 16 audio tapes.
Yeah.
That's where I learned that Martin Van Buren was once known as the Little Magician.
The Little Magician.
Pretty nice. But no, what I was going to say is, what I meant to say, I bought a book recently because it's a novella by Roger Zeleny. I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Zelazny?
Zelazny. Yes,
Yeah.
that's right. Is his name Roger? Is his first
Roger
name Roger?
Zelazny. Yeah, he wrote
Yeah.
Chariot of the Gods.
Did he? So a bunch of other things. Chronicles of Amber is one of his famous things. Anyway, it's called I think it's called The Dream Master, and it's about VR and stuff. And the interesting thing is that it really does hit on the thing that I've said now, and I'll say it again. This is again, as we've stated before, a podcast for people hundreds of years in the future. At this particular time, we do not have virtual reality that works upon accessing the dream state. That being said, I think that we will, at some point in time, work specifically with technology that accesses the dream state to create virtual reality. And I've mentioned this before. Again, there is something that's missing, and that is the component that allows you to feed information back to the user. We don't really have that yet. But once you do, all bets are off. I feel like.
All bets are off.
I thought of that as soon as I said it, Ben.
I have to correct every time I hear that phrase, I think of that scene in that movie. I have to correct myself. Zelazny didn't write Chariot of the Gods. He wrote Lord of Light,
Yes.
which you may know as was made into the film Argo.
Wait. Lord of Light.
So Lord of Light. So Jack Kirby
Yes.
was adapting Lord of Light, and we did a whole panel jumper episode on it, and
Yeah.
it's all connected.
But so that was optioned. Lord of Light was optioned, and that was the movie that they used to get the people out.
It was an unfilmed or unfilmable script that John Chambers, this makeup artist, had when his friend, the CIA agent, came and said they needed a movie pitch to fool
That is
the
amazing.
Iranians.
And it worked.
Yes, it did.
It worked. And the guy from *Halt and Catch Fire* was in it.
I don't know
The
which
film.
guy you're talking about.
Okay, so *Halt and Catch Fire* has three main people. There's the guy that was in *Pushing Daisies*, whose name I should know, but I forget. And then I think her name is Mackenzie Davis, an actor who was in the Blade Runner with Ryan Gosling, and
The Blade Runner?
Station 9. Was it called? It wasn't, but that's great. That's great, Ben. I like that a lot. And then the third guy.
The third guy.
Whose
And
name I don't remember.
The third guy is the one who's also in Argo.
Yep, that's right.
I can see Betty playing a video game behind you. And is it a Ghostbusters game? I thought I saw the Ghostbusters logo.
Hey, Betty, what? Oh, she's playing Gary's Mod.
I don't know what that is.
Gary's Mod is a sandbox game,
Okay.
and people can upload their own things. So there is most likely a Ghostbusters logo of some kind, but who knows? Hey, Betty, what thing are you playing right now in Gary's Mod? Say it again. Lethargy pools? Was there a Ghostbusters symbol? Yes. Ben, you saw it correctly. There was a Ghostbusters symbol.
I know what the Ghostbusters looks like.
Yep. It's an anime girl instead, though, Betty says.
I didn't see that part.
Yep. But, you know, lethargy pools by Ethosaur.
I'm sure that means something to somebody.
Yeah. It's probably true. Jennifer, you're looking okay. Are you still super tired? Okay. So we're still we have about 23 more minutes to the podcast. And I have the keys in my pocket. I've got my shoes on.
So you're ready to bounce.
I can pee at the urgent care. And I'll tell them.
I'll do my civic duty in the waiting room.
Yeah. I'm allowed to pee here. So the voice that I'm doing is burned into my memory because Jennifer and I were in Hawaii and we were on a nature trail. Coral reefs? Is that what it was?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it was quartered off. Like, there was string and we couldn't go past it. And this guy decided that it was taking too long, and so we started walking off the path. And they said, "Sir, you can't do that." And he just turns around and goes, "Why?" And then continues walking. And I still remember. It is kind of funny. I think the reason that he said why was because he felt like he wasn't in any danger.
Right.
So what are they telling him about?
I mean, the main characters of the stories never are.
Exactly. Although Jennifer has stated several times that she is the protagonist in this story. And from her... Yeah, she's the protagonist in her story, she says. And I will say that given her actions and the consequences of them, I would agree. There are several times when she has reacted to someone who was trying to start a fight with me and deflected their energy back on themselves. Pretty nice.
You don't strike me as somebody who gets into a lot of fights.
I try not to, for sure.
Yeah.
People in general don't actually want to fight me either. But occasionally, there is someone who wants to fight Jennifer, but they can't because she's small and in their head not a target.
Right.
So they will want to fight me instead, and Jennifer will bring them back and go, no, he's not doing anything. Don't talk to him, you talk to me.
That's why I don't get aside from once, I don't really get threatened on the street because I'm not so small that I'm an easy target, and I'm not so big that I feel like somebody feels they need to prove something by getting into it with me. But
like you said, except for one time, yeah.
There was one time I was in Ballard. I can't remember why. I was either I was coming home from something. It must have like either a show or a bar or something. And
what year was it?
Oh, this was probably, I think it was after you had left, so within the last 10 years.
Because the reason I asked is because for a while I lived in Ballard. So if it was,
No, it was nighttime. Ballard is a large, has a large drinking culture, nightlife, live music, in the central, Market Street, Ballard Avenue area. I'm walking towards my car, and I cross the street, and I'm actually jaywalking at this point, but there's no cars coming, so I'm like, whatever, I'm going to cross the street here. and I sort of angle in front of this bar where there are a couple people hanging out front, and one dude seemed to take umbrage at my existence. And he starts yelling at me and threatening me and telling me to, using a lot of swear words, which I'm not going to say, but like, come back here, mother effer, F you, get your ass over here. And I'm like ignoring him and just walking to my car. And he's following me. He's like, I can tell that he's like, either he didn't like that I jaywalked, which I don't think that was the case, or he thought I was someone else. Like,
that's what I was going to say.
I've
dealt with that in the past.
Yeah, like someone had pissed him off inside this bar, walked out, he came out, saw me coming back, and thought I was the person who like threw a drink in his face or whatever, you know?
Yeah.
I'm walking in my car. He's actually following me. I turn around to see like how close he is, and he's like, "What are you looking at? You know? Yeah, come back here." And it's just like, I'm actually getting nervous. I don't normally get scared on the street, but I'm actually getting quite nervous. I'm ready to run if I need to, because I feel I can outrun this guy if I have to. Yeah. But I hear his friend like trying to pull him back, saying, "Come on, man, he's not worth it. You know, cool off." And I want to yell, "Yeah, I'm not worth it." Yeah. But they finally, you know, the situation dissipates. They go back into the bar. I get to my car. Nothing bad happens except, you know, 10 years later, I can still remember this guy like just aping out at me on the street for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah, that'll stick with you for sure.
Yeah.
The big thing I remember, I think you were with me, but it might have been Steven, and Rick Miller were approaching Broadway in Capitol Hill, walking, you know, by QFC, I think. And this guy's walking, and he just lunges at Rick for no reason. And yells something like "fight or flight" at him or something like that.
Jesus.
And Rick was just like, do you guys know what? And we were all like, no idea. He was like an older dude too.
Yeah.
He looked like one of the guys from the Devil's Rejects, kind of. But wasn't.
I was walking up Pine Street by what's now Walgreens, and there was a guy standing at a bus stop, and I'm, you know, less than a block away, and he turns and he gets down in like a football stance, like he's a big linebacker about, you know, ready to protect his quarterback or attack the other team's quarterback, and he's just like, he's looking at me like, and he's like moving back and forth like he's about to just rush up and attack me. And I have no idea what to do at this point. So I just keep walking, and then we're getting closer and closer, and I'm making sure I'm keeping eye contact with him, and I veer off to the left, and then he does like get up because the ball's been snapped, and he runs right past me. And I watch him go down the sidewalk a little bit, and then he stops and turns around, and that was it. But he was looking straight at me when he was doing this, except for the part when he ran past me.
I was at a college campus, University of Missouri Columbia, when I went to school there, and I was walking back to my dorm, and there were like 2 guys and a girl that were walking behind me, and I don't know what happened, but it was just, there was something that spooked me about it.
Yeah.
Now I think maybe autism in general, but I started running to the dorm. I was like, I don't want to be here anymore. I started running to the dorm, and that act of me running, one of the guys started running after me. And I got all the way up to my dorm, and he was right behind me. And I looked at him and I said, "Now what?" And he walked away, and that was it. But yeah, there's something instinctual about that, I think,
Yeah.
sometimes.
That's what they say. If you're trying to catch a dog, don't run after it. Get its attention and then run away from it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
it'll chase you.
It worked. It worked the time that's exactly what Jennifer did. Caught a dog by running away from it rather than towards it. That one guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. She's done it several times. I remember the one that I saw. What is the game that you're playing now, Jennifer? What's it called? Banishers is a relatively new game on the PS5. The style of it, I don't know how to describe it except that it's like Lewis and Clark era magic stuff. Yeah. So New England magic.
I saw a PS5 in person recently, and I was actually quite shocked at how big the console is.
Yeah, it is a big console.
It's a lot larger than I had expected.
Well, we just got an Xbox. What is it? Xbox S
720
Series S. And it's very small. You can see it right here.
Is that black
On this
thing
side
on the? No, that's your AT&T thing. Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, the white
yeah.
thing sitting on the. And apparently Jennifer read recently that that's the last console they're going to make.
Oh, really? Shutting down the Xbox.
They are going to use a third party.
Oh, Microsoft isn't going to make them anymore. They're still going to be Xbox consoles, but they're going to be made by a third party.
Ah.
Is what it was. She just found that out. That's new information right here on the GudeLaurance podcast.
You heard it here.
One-stop shop for Xbox
probably.
news, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you in the future, Xbox was a console for video games, which may already be known. You guys might already still use them. Or it might be a quaint idea of some kind. You've probably got separate realities that you're all dealing with at this point. I do think about this sometimes, Ben, that people are going to talk about reality like we talk about television. Back when I was a kid, there are basically three realities. You had, left wing, right wing, and then centrist stuff. And that was basically
and
it.
then
Now
every once in a while on the weekends, you get a different reality that kind of comes in on another channel that...
Exactly. If you live across, if there's cloud cover, it'll bounce around, etc. Man, I loved Channel 11. Channel 11 was my favorite channel in St. Louis.
What channel was the Channel 11 in St. Louis?
Syndicated stuff. It would play, it'll play movies that were heavily edited and
formatted to fit your television.
There are so many TV shows movies that, I'm like, I didn't really like that. And they're like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not saying that Blazing Saddles was on Channel 11, but it might have been. And, if so, there were times, this was before they would bleep stuff.
Yeah.
Where they just ADR completely different lines and stuff.
Yeah.
And maybe not even by the regular people either. So weird.
I remember seeing the Blues Brothers once without it being censored, and amazed at they actually swear in this, and there are entire different scenes I haven't seen in this movie.
Exactly.
Because they edit it down to fit within like a 2-hour block on Channel 11 with commercial breaks.
Yeah.
And Channel 11 in the Northwest was that channel too. It was KSTW, and it was where you saw the syndicated TV shows. Like WKRP in Cincinnati was on after it had went off the air. It was in syndication.
Exactly. You got it. So here's what I would say is like something that I'm pretty excited about you and I have both now seen the end. I want to say I'm very excited about it. It's not like I'm not super excited, but it's something we can actually talk about. Now, spoilers for True Detective, Night Country, right? You've seen it?
I have.
All?
Yes. Yeah.
I want to say, and I do say, that I did not anticipate it being the women. So good job on them. It worked.
Oh yeah. I know a lot of people are upset because a lot of like the supernatural questions were unanswered.
Uh-huh.
And like one of the things is like, who put the tongue in the laboratory? Like, was it John Hawkes? Was it the cop? And why? Like, that was never really, because he's the one who moved the body, right? So why would he have done that? Nobody else. That whole thing wasn't answered.
Right. So I do think that he cut out the tongue, right? That was a thing that I think happened because he said, I just moved the body. And I think that he cut the tongue out to change suspicion.
Throw the scent off.
Exactly, yeah.
Unknown. Also, Kaylee Reese's character, I can remember the actors' names, not the character names. Navarro, what just walks off into the ocean. Do you think she? Do you think she is going the way of her sister at the very end? There, do you think she's just gonna end up? It was the show's been renewed for another season, but I don't think it's going to be the same people.
No, it never is.
Right.
And I hope they stick with that because I like that. I like that it's different. You know, it's so funny. By the way, True Detective 2 was bad, but there was a Twitter thread at the time that I read that made me appreciate it. Like there was somebody who, and I don't know if they were doing a bit or if they like really believed it, but they were talking about how it's chock full of symbolism, and if you really look at it, like there's who's the guy, Colin
Farrell.
Colin Farrell. At the end of that, when he spoilers for some of the True Detectives.
I haven't seen season 2 yet.
Oh, it's not great, in my opinion. But
probably not going to watch it.
He mentioned this thing where, in the end, his character, is caring about, his son, and the fact that he's going to die, and his son isn't going to see him anymore. But he's in the middle of these redwoods, and he's looking up, and he realizes the redwoods have been alive, and will be alive, and his son will see them, etc., etc. And that's nice.
The trees have eyes.
Okay. Yeah. I actually, this is one of those things again, who knows, but I felt like Colin Farrell was okay
and
as
like
a person.
It's Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn.
Yep, Vince Vaughn.
Like, if it was Vincent D'Onofrio, then I would.
Yeah, exactly.
Watch
yeah.
it.
Oh, I'm with you. Jennifer said I was like, "There's a new True Detective," and she's like, "Who's in it?" And I said, "It's Colin Farrell and Vince Vaughn," and she's like, "Okay, so they're just doing." Let's cast 2 actors that Jennifer doesn't want to watch, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson. Does it piss off Jennifer? So there was something that I wanted to talk about regarding that, and I don't remember now. I wish I could, Ben, but
sorry.
Oh yeah, no.
In regards to True Detective.
What I was gonna say is that people, you're never going to get an answer with the spooky stuff, right? I mean, that's part of the reason why it's the spooky stuff. But I feel like we are supposed to understand in the continuity of the show that Navarro did die, and that the Navarro that's seeing her, or the Navarro that she's seeing, is a ghost.
Yeah, yeah. Or maybe
You know?
maybe I didn't see the Navarro that they're hanging out at the lake house, right? I didn't see that representation of Navarro as a ghost or as something that was actually there, but like sort of Jodie Foster's memory
of exactly.
Yeah.
Because I read something where someone was like, so actually she faked her death and now she's hiding out at the lake. I'm like, I don't
No, I don't think that's
I don't
happening.
think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the I remember. There's some discourse that, and we don't have enough time to get into this, but it's fine. There's some discourse that we've been having, or I've been seeing online recently about satire and how people should let you know that they're doing satire before they do it.
Like a big disclaimer before a show.
Specifically around the discourse around Starship Troopers.
Oh, God.
That people are like, there's nothing in that says that Paul Verhoeven wasn't being sincere when he made that film.
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly. Jennifer is saying, "Are you kidding me?" They're like he needed to be. He should have said something about it, and it's like
the movie was what he was saying.
Yeah.
Did you see the same movie?
Exactly. So speaking about, did you see the same movie, Ben? We're at the end.
Hey,
and we
I
gotta
like that movie.
take Jennifer to urgent care.
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna cancel the thing? Because you are seeming okay now.
Yeah.
I think playing video games is what did it.
Yeah.
And me talking to you. I saved your life, Jennifer. Yep, you're welcome. All right, Ben. So,
now you owe
we're not
me.
going to go to urgent care. So now you and I can just talk as normal when I go. So until then, Ben, I ask you to keep it wrong. How's it happening? And whatever the answer to that was, that one lucky viewer, if they can tell us what you were supposed to respond to with how's it happening, you'll get a special GudeLaurance prize. And you really will. You really will. We will put together some sort of prize for you, and you'll be surprised as to what it is that you end up getting. Until then,
keep it wrong,
talk to you later.
Paul.
Keep it wrong. Nice talking to you, Ben.